hope you get into good.
Okay. Hi guys, Talkie time. Next episode is here, and on this episode, we're gonna be talking full in English again, and it's gonna be with my another cousin, ENGUUN.CH.
Hi.
Okay, you can just start by introducing yourself.
My name is ENGUUN.CH and I went to a public high school near Los Angeles. And this fall, I'm going to be an incoming freshman at UC Berkeley.
Okay, she is Mongolian, by the way, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, let's start by what's your major?
So I don't know about all of the other colleges inside Berkeley, but I'm part of the College of Letters and Sciences. And for that one, you declare your major starting your after your second year of college, after
Mm,
you fill out all of your pre-major classes. But when I was applying to Berkeley, I applied as an economics major, and I plan on being an economics major.
okay, interesting. Alright, so um, in the US, there are something like Common App, right?
Mm-hmm.
Application system. So, but Common Apps don't have UC
Mm-hmm.
schools, right? So, how does UC schools application system work?
So to apply to, I believe there are nine UCs in total, and to apply to them, there's a UC portal, and you fill out one application to apply to all of the UCs that you want. And there are 8 essay topics you can choose from, and you choose 4 of the 8 topics, and you write for about 350 words.
Mm-hmm.
And there are 20 slots for awards and activities. And for each of the activities, you have to summarize what you did and what it was in about 350 characters. And after you fill out all of that, there's like another thing, and then you just check all of the UCs that you want to apply to.
So it's just Common App but for users.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the code? The
Oh,
application?
I feel like if you just search up apply to UC, it'll just show up for some.
Okay.
I forgot what it's called.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so from when did your college journey begin?
I feel like I really started caring about colleges in about 10th grade. In ninth
Mm,
grade, I was part of like different clubs and I cared about my grades, but I actually like started going into other extracurriculars in 10th grade, and I kept that up till 11th grade, and during my 11th grade summer, I started working on my actual college application and my essays. And because I'm not the best essay writer, I will say I hired like a help essay tutor thing in which
mhm.
I like write an essay and then I send it over, and then they give me feedbacks like, oh, make this more about yourself. You're talking a little too much about this. And
Okay, did it help, do you think?
it helped a lot, 100%. I would like, if you're not the best at it, I would advise getting one.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so moreover, what was the reaction after getting your acceptance letter?
So my dream college, all for about 2 years, was UCSD, University of California, San Diego,
Mm-hmm.
and I was already accepted. So I will say I cared about my other decisions after that, but it wasn't like I was nervous or anything. But and then as I was like doom scrolling on Reddit, all of the
Mm-hmm.
college things, I learned that there's this thing called portal astrology in which you log into this one website, and if they made an account for you, it means you got in. And like I didn't believe it, but like in the back of my head I was like, okay, maybe I got in, maybe I didn't. And when I opened it in the car right after school, and it was my last decision. And then
Oh,
I don't know, I was super surprised. I like screamed kind of. I was just like gasping, and then I scared my dad because he was driving.
okay, so you just gasped.
Yeah, like really loud.
But you did get into UCSD, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you didn't get into UC Berkeley, you would have gone to UC San Diego.
Yeah.
Okay, but UC Berkeley is better.
For my major.
Yeah. Okay. So next is like statistics. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
your GPA. class rank and like honors and ECs?
So at the time I was applying to college, my weighted GPA was 4.43, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then my class rank was 11%, top 11%.
Mm,
Oh, and then there's a thing if you're like, oh, I think it's just for high schoolers in California, but if you're top 9% of your class, it's like guaranteed you'll get into one of the UCs.
oh.
Uh-huh. But I'm not sure. Like you should just fact check that. And then as for extracurriculars, I did 3 internships. One of them was a political internships for one of the candidates for my city mayor. That one
Mm,
I did really early on before I knew what career I wanted to pursue. And then I did a multimedia internship for my school district, also like really early on, so I didn't know what I wanted to do. And then when I learned that I really like economics, I did like a sales research internship.
mm,
And I also, as for volunteering, I was part of my school's CSF, California Scholarship Federation, in which
mm,
you tutor middle schoolers and high schoolers. I did that for 4 years. I also did volunteer at nursing homes to teach the seniors there how to use technology. And because of that,
mm-hmm.
my friend and I won the California Civic Engagement Award, SEAL.
Oh.
And I also did, I also like co-founded in which I like advertised it and made posters, and I tutored for this English curriculum organization in which we taught English to students around the borders of Mongolia
Mm,
and other volunteers. I feel like that's about it. And then like there were some other like tiny little ones, but those are the main ones.
that's still a lot.
Oh, and then for outside of like volunteer and internships, I was also part of my school's academic decathlon team in
Mm,
which you go to competitions. And I feel like that was like a big part of my application because I spent a lot of time on it and only 20 people from 2,000 students, my school has 2,000 students, got in. And I was member for 3 years and went to competitions. And with my friends, did another I co-founded another organization called New Air Era. It's an
mm-hmm.
anti-tobacco prevention organization, and we collaborated with UCLA's one of the clubs and did a virtual
Mm.
training for the UCLA workforce twice.
Oh, that's interesting.
Mm.
Okay. Oh, I have an interesting question. Okay, if you had a choice between UCLA and UC Berkeley, what would you choose?
So I got rejected from UCLA, so there was only one choice for me. But when I was applying to colleges, my mom asked the exact same question. And okay, I live really near UCLA, and one of my really good friends got into UCLA. So it would have been like, I would have thought about it, but for economics, UC Berkeley's, it might be a little biased, but I would have chosen Berkeley.
Okay, okay. All right. So, okay, so when you're applying to the UC schools, did you ever think you wouldn't get in? Like that overwhelming feelings?
100%. So I feel like while I was working on my application, people like, okay, I feel like a lot of people who, when they're working on their application, like search up other people's stats and watch like TikToks on like stats of people who got in. And I would always compare myself to those people, and I didn't like apply to a lot of schools because I thought I wasn't good enough for them. And mm, and then even after like I already turned in my application, when I was waiting for my results, I wouldn't be able to sleep some nights and my hair was falling out at one point because I was really scared. But I feel like that's part of the process.
What kept you going, in
I
your
would
opinion?
say having a very strong circle, like a community, because my parents,
Mm,
whenever I like couldn't sleep or complained like, oh, I'm not gonna get in, they were always there for me. And my friends, I feel like we all struggled together, just like I feel like struggling together is better than alone. So, and I can like talk about like, oh, I'm so scared and everything with them. So, having a very strong circle.
Okay. Okay. Next. What do you think made your application stand out? Like, what was the anchor?
I would say my essays played a big part.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Um, I feel like my essay topics. I'm not sure if my essay, like how I wrote it, was good, but I really liked my topics, and I thought they showed
Mm,
different sides of me in all of them.
okay, so what did you write in your essays?
So, like I said, there are 8 different topics that you can choose from. And the 4 that I chose was a leadership question, a creative side question, greatest talent question, and how I help my community question. So for my leadership one, I talked about how after coming to the United States, I didn't know any English, so it was a bit of a struggle. And I talked about how teaching at the English curriculum organization, I really wanted like people to not go through the same struggles as I did. So if they ever move to the United States or want to
Mm,
study there, they're prepared. And I just talked about my like leadership role inside that organization. And for my creative side question, I talked about how my dad, whenever he cooks at home, he doesn't use a recipe. And following in his direction, when I cook, I also don't use any recipes and I just my cooking to whatever I have in the fridge or the cabinet. And I talked about how that affected me as a person and just like my personal life. And I talked about how
mm,
that made me very resourceful and I would find creative solutions to all of my problems. And I used an example of for my school's creative writing club, I was the treasurer, and I talked about all of the different ways I raised money, like found different
mm,
ways. Oh, and then my third essay was the greatest talent one, and I talked
mm,
about how because I was never really a good public speaker, and I really didn't like talking to people because I was scared of getting judged. And after joining the academic decathlon team at my school, I wasn't able to make the competing team my first year because one of the 3 components involved public speaking. So I wasn't qualified because I wasn't really good at it. And that made me into a coach that helped the people who got into the team and I helped like give them advice and stuff. And that made me realize that I wasn't really there to judge them and I really wanted them to improve, which is why I was giving all of my feedbacks and critiques. So that made me realize that like whenever somebody gives me a feedback, it's just like for the better of me, not trying to like
mm,
judge me. And I talked about how my greatest talent is just taking on feedbacks and being able to incorporate it and make myself better thanks to them, and also how public speaking became much easier for me after
mm.
that. And for my last one, how am I talking?
No, it's
For
okay,
my
it's
last
okay.
one, it was the community question, how I help my community. For that one, I talked about how while talking to my grandmas, who's like on the other side of the world, I realized that using technology isn't like really easy for them, just as like it's really easy for me. And so my friend and I passed out surveys and we realized that it's a common issue for a lot of the seniors everywhere around the world. So we decided to volunteer at a nursing home and teach them how to use their technology in both iPhone and Samsung and
Okay.
connect them to their friends or family in different parts of the world or just make their life easier. And I talked about how it wasn't just like oh, I volunteered at this and I'm done. We decided to collaborate with one of my school's volunteer clubs to make it
Mm-hmm.
sustainable so it
Mm.
can continue on even after we graduate.
Oh, is it continuing?
Yeah, I hope so.
Okay. So, according to you, you say your dream school was UCSD before
hmm
you got into UC Berkeley. So why was it UCSD?
I'm not sure. So, okay, I feel like I was very so I really doubted myself a lot. I didn't apply to any of the Ivy Leagues and I didn't think I could get into UCLA or Berkeley, so I feel like I made UCSD my dream for that reason, but also it has a very beautiful campus. I never visited it, but I heard from a lot of people it has a very beautiful campus and it's like a still a very top school.
Mm-hmm.
And I just really like the San Diego area, so I feel like that was one of the reasons.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so what is there a thing like, oh, I wish I knew it before? Like, what are the things you wished you knew while applying?
I would feel like okay. I feel like it's not to trust all of the advices you hear on the internet about applying to
Mm,
colleges because some people say that if you're applying to a hard major, to put like the easier major as your first choice and then change into that harder major when you're already in the school. While that might work for some schools, I feel like if you're in a very competitive major, it's going to be very hard to transfer into even
mm-hmm.
after. And just to like double check all of the advices you hear and before incorporating them, one advice that I heard while I was applying to the UCs was to fill out all 20 of the awards and extracurricular section. And I thought to myself and I was like, okay, I don't think it will hurt me in any way to fill them all out. So I just did it and I feel like majority of my extracurriculars I spent a lot of time on, but like some of them I was just a member for 4 years and I didn't have any leadership positions in one of them in like all of them, so I just put it down to fill out all 20. I feel like that could
Mm,
have helped, so yeah.
okay, so uh, all we talked about was pre-decision, right? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
now post-decision. Okay, what are you most looking forward to at Berkeley?
Mm,
There any specific clubs you want to join? Any specific activities you want to do? Specific people you want to meet?
I feel like I'm really excited to just explore a new city because right now I really need a car in the city I live in to hang out with my friends and just go anywhere, and I don't have a car. But I heard in San Francisco you can just take the metro everywhere, so I'm excited to just explore the area and meet new people and make friends there. And I'm really excited. I hope I can join some of the clubs because I heard it's harder to get into the clubs than the school.
Yeah, I heard
So
that
I'm
too.
really scared, but I hope I can get in them and find some good internships.
Okay, talk about your dorm, please.
So I got one of the dorms I really didn't want. I'm not a walker and I hate exercise. But my dorm is really up a hill and it's kind of far away from what I heard. I didn't visit it, but I heard it's really far away from the campus, main campus. So I'm not excited to walk every day and night. And I have a 9 a.m. class, so that means I have to like walk early in the morning.
Let's go. Good for your health.
That's true, that's true. No freshman 15.
Okay, okay. So, are there any memories, memorable moments throughout your journey that you can't forget?
That I
Like,
can't forget. I feel like right after turning in my all of the schools I turned in around December and November, right? And my friends and I had like a celebration, like a winter Christmas celebration right after we turned in most of our college applications. And I feel like that was like a really nice way to forget about all of the stress and just enjoy my time. And I feel like that made me feel a little better. I'm like, okay, everything is done. Now it's just like, let's see, I can't do anything about it anymore and let's just celebrate. So I feel like that really stayed in my mind.
mhm. Okay, okay. Okay, so moreover, I have advice things. Okay, so what would you tell advice to people who's watching this video, or like maybe your younger sister? What would you
Mhm.
say to her?
I would say start your college application as early as possible because I started during the summer when school started and I was busy with all my workload. All I had to do was make some edits to my essays and I didn't really like I wasn't like, oh my god, this is so stressful. I started early, and I would say also to not doubt yourself and apply to all of the schools that you want, because you only apply to colleges not a few times, depends, and just to apply and see what happens. Not to like doubt yourself and apply to all of the IVs.
Okay. Oh, we forgot about to talk about your schedule.
Mm.
So, like when I was at your house, like your schedule was turned upside down. So talk about that, please.
Okay, so I'm a very night person. I like to study when it's super quiet and nobody's awake. So when I come home, well, after school, after I do like if I have any extracurriculars, I come home and I like to take a nap for like 3 hours, 4 hours, and then I eat dinner, hang out, and then I start my homework and just like my essay working and everything around like 10 p.m., 11 p.m., and I have to sleep at 2, 3 a.m. and I wake up and it's the same
Yeah,
schedule.
cycle. Okay. Okay, but it did work for you, right?
Yeah, it did work. I feel like my brain works better at night, so I feel like it was pretty smart of me.
Okay. Thank you, Nguyen. So that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope you do good in school
That's that.
and make many memories and make many friends at Berkeley. And that is a top school. So share your like experience with me. Okay.
Okay, thank you. And I
Okay.
hope the next time I see you, we. I hope you get into good.
Okay. Okay.
I hope you get into your dream school as
Okay.
well.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank
Okay.
you.